welcome to another Pro Dota commentary done by Luminous. Today I'll be casting WE versus Tongfu, and this replay is from the East Qualifiers Grand Final Game number 1. I know there's Game 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, whatever X amount of game there are, but I'm not going to cast those games. I'm just interested in this particular game for a couple of reasons. Reason number 1, this being a absolutely recommended replay by LD, who has casted this game. So if you haven't checked out his cast of it, and you really want to hear more from him, definitely go to his YouTube channel and check it out. The second reason I want to cast this game is, well, I need to learn a little bit more about the Chinese. Lately I've been casting nothing but TPL, which is European matches. I casted DreamHack, the West Qualifier, which is, again, a lot of European matches. And frankly, I just don't know enough about Chinese and Southern Asian playstyle, at least not with the same amount of depth I do know about the European team. So it's good to do a little bit of homework here, since I will be in a couple of months casting a whole bunch of Chinese games at the International. So this is a great place to start, I feel like. So we are gonna look at this fairly long game. So this is a fair warning to you guys. It is gonna be long, so bring your popcorn or whatever you want, or your Wong Lo gut, you know? It's healthy for you. Any case, we have Icy's going to be playing the Nature's Prophet. We have Lu on Earthshaker. JJ's going to be on the Ancient Aberration. FNTY on that Morphling. And who is it going to be? This is going to be Chan on the Queen of Pain. Meanwhile, on the dial, we have Mu playing the Beastmaster. I'll talk about his item build a little bit. And we have Shansheng playing the Puck Hao on the Dragon Knight. Kabu playing the Crystal Maiden here. And then Woke handling that Chen. So Beastmaster, generally, if you're watching a lot of European games, you know he's going to be going on the bot lane because, we're going to have a little bit of engagement here and there. Whoa, Shaker could, in theory, start the team fight there and co-feed and the waveform in. But I'm not sure whether the co-feed damage will tick in, and that's going to be the Barovter spell. So no first blood being exchanged here and there, but no big deal. Back to this point about the Beastmaster. Now, currently in the European metagame, he is always on the bot lane because he could constantly pull here. Use this Crow Beast or your hero. Just keep pulling, and then you stack this Ancient a couple times, and then you clear it out with the Soul Ring WoW Axis, like a level 3 WoW Axis. It's going to take you like 6 or 7 axes to do so, but you're going to earn yourself about 1,000 gold, as well as 2 to 3 level worth of EXP. So overall, we do see it a lot in the bottle lane, but we're not going to see it this game. If you look at his item build here, he's going to go for a quick bottle, and sometimes you see a quick bottle build here on the bot lane as well, but this is more likely a mid lane build, and as you see, he is indeed going the mid lane. Unfortunately for him, though, he's going to be going up against Queen of Pain, which will definitely be skilling Shadow Strike, maybe like right now. Yep. No, Blink first. Very, very interesting. Now, skilling Blink first in this case. Now, let me talk about the reason why he wanted to skill Shadow Strike. Shadow Strike against melee heroes is absolutely insane. It deals a whole bunch of damage, 200 damage to be exact, right at level 1. It applies a very decent slow, and it's just annoying the hell out of melee heroes like this. Very surprised that he skilled Blink, but in the mid lane it doesn't matter too much, considering that you're going to hit level 2 very, very quickly if you don't have too many creeps denied. And Mu doing a very good job. Thinking that one creep preventing the level 2. Back in the jungle here, we see a Woke going to be transitioning to the bot jungle because this lane is going to have a little bit of rough time. It is going to be Ancient Aberration, who JJ took quite a bit of harassment. War gets dropped down as well. There was a little bit of D-War action, but War just got dropped down. And I think JJ as well, I feel like both teams in this lane needs a little bit of help. Don't be surprised if you see both Chen and Shaker roams in. Now, of course, FNTI can survive, but this is exactly what I mean. The harass from 2 600 range heroes. Ancient Aberration can help. But really, Ancient Aberration, I feel like, is very offensive a hero. He has no defensive spell, and he's going to be in big trouble. Now we do see the Earthshaker rotating in. And suddenly, this can be a very devastating trialing. Kofi plus Fissure plus Waveform in. That's a lot of new damage, as well as stun duration. So, Crystal Maiden, if your name's CM, you got to be somewhat careful. But here comes a Chen. It's got the most annoying... It says Alpha Wolf, but... let me tell you, this creep is a lot better than Alpha Wolf. That Tornado will just wreck this Morphling and chase him basically off the lane. It's very insane. He's going to park in here and start tornadoing around. No, just... There you go. There's a Tornado, and FNTY sees that Tornado coming. He's like, well, yeah, there's nothing he could do about it. On the top lane here, Hao, already level 3 to a Nature Prophet, who's level 3 as well. This is a build that we do see from time to time. The jungling build of Prophet has been changing quite a bit. In terms of jungling right now, you see a little bit more into Treants, or Nature's Call, and a little bit less on the Sprout. And the reason that you don't usually level a Sprout early is because using Sprout as a ganking tool isn't actually that effective. I mean, it's a Sprout, but generally heroes have tangles. I guess Beastmaster doesn't, but he has wild access. They could easily get out of that Sprout. It's not really a true stun, so they could use their spells and still attack you and all that stuff. So generally, it's not that effective as a ganking mechanism. But I suppose Icy will still want to have it, since he is going to be participating in a little bit more ganks and whatnot. Back to Dragon Knight's build here. Now, he is going to go for Dragon Blood level 2. And this might be like, oh, what the hell, this is not the standard build. It is not the standard build, but I think it's going to work out perfectly here. He knows that he's going to be basically by himself. He's not going to be expecting any ganks. Chen's on the bot lane here. And I don't think Crystal Maiden's going to TP in anytime soon. He's not going to be expecting any ganks. He's not going to solo kill the Prophet anytime soon. So having the stun is not that useful. He's basically a melee hero who is taking range racks all day long. And a combination of a second level Dragon Blood as well as a Style Shield, yeah, that's going to help him survive quite a bit. So this is a prime example of sometimes you gotta just adjust your skill build a little bit to really get you accustomed in that lane, if you will. We do have Boots of Speed being picked up here, and very interesting choice of taking out a level Inner Beast, as we do see Fissure trying to be attempted. There is the Ice Vortex being dropped down, Nova on both heroes. Ice Vortex is such a drain on the mana. Here we go, that Tornado again. That is not a Spiderite. This spell is a lot better than a Spiderite. Dota 2 is in beta. I just want to remind everybody that. And that Tornado will be chasing. I don't like the placement of this Tornado. It should be sit right here. And the FNTY. I guess it's chasing the supports around, which is not irrelevant. Salve gets popped. Lu does have 2 clarities, only level 2 right now. And the fact that Chen is not jungling, which means they're going to lose out in terms of gold and EXP. Because when you pick a Chen, you expect him to get a certain amount of levels as well as gold and a little bit more EXP for their team. But unfortunately, has not been able to do so because he has to help out in the lane. Another Alpha Wolf. The Wildkin gets dominated, and more Tornado will be coming in. And even if that Tornado gets cancelled by a Fissure, I think it's completely well worth it. You draw on a spell for basically for free. It's your creep. And here we go. A little bit of exchange here. Lu is going to get forced back. JJ is going to get forced back. That is just one Wildkin, and it's basically winning the lane a little, very slowly for the Dire squad. 15 creep heal here for the Morphling. 8 to 9. How's Puck doing? Only 13 and 9. Crystal Maiden's got a couple as well, I imagine. 2 and 3, not too bad. Meanwhile, these supports are having a little bit of a tough time, as you will. Another Tornado being summoned here. Again, I don't like this Tornado being summoned. The creep is a little bit too exposed. You give them the option to cancel it, and they will do so with the Kofi. I think, sitting over here or something like that might be a little bit better. But the spell has been dropped here, and JJ going to be in big trouble. Waveform in here, and now Kaboo taking a lot of physical right here. Wrath of Nature is going to claim the first blood. Shaker's going to go down. 1-for-1 exchange so far right now, but we do have Waveform cooling down. FNT1, nice shoot here by Woke. Will that be enough? I don't think so. Waveform is, Orb's going to be in as well. JJ in a bit of trouble. Waveform coming in, and he's going to survive. JJ's going to survive. Turns around for it. Last hit, gets the last hit. JJ Ancient Aberration survives. Double Waveform, and 3 kills going in favor of the Dire, as we do see Beastmaster going down the mid lane as well. I meant 3 kills going towards the Radiant, as that Wrath of Nature was absolutely huge. Icy didn't even need a TP in, as that Wrath of Nature is enough. We do see Hannah Midas being already skilled up here, not using the Midas just yet. How keeping him out of lane. Soul Ring being completed, and still no points in that stun. Very, very standard. Teleport into the jungle as to get the EXP. Yep. The reason that he didn't dominate the creep in lane is that it does give you 2.5 times extra whatever creep that you're getting. So if you get a really big creep like that, well, you're going to get a lot of experience, and experience is a thing. It's a thing. We do see the Scout Hawk and the Warlock Golem. In any case, they're going at FNTY. He's morphing the strength, I believe that's what animation is, and he is, trying to survive through that, but it will not be enough. Moo perhaps will be sent back. Yes, he will. And he is going to be able to teleport into the mid lane if he chooses to do so. Yeah, all these graphical glitches on the replay is a little bit annoying to deal with, but hey, at least we got the replays. Which, by the way, a lot of people are asking, how do I get pro replays? And there's a couple ways you get to get them. First of all, this is from the East Qualifier. Like, Val has put in both of the qualifier replays, and you could go definitely check them out under the watch tab. You could watch defense matches by buying the defense pass, which is $5. For me, I've heard that like in different areas of the world, you could, like, it's €3 or something like that. So it's different currency apparently in different places. So that's officially a couple ways you get the replays. Now, of course, I get a couple of replays by asking the pro teams to download the replay and send it to me. If you actually get the replay ID by itself and try to load it, it's gonna say, oh, this replay is restricted or something like that. But I do imagine that Valve is gonna be changing it soon. Like I don't imagine them to make these replay unavailable. It just like prevents this. It prevents replay casting, and things like replay casting prevents movie making, and you know, just denying good replays to a lot of pro players or a lot of amateur players who watch and learn. How taking a little bit of harass on the top lane, no big deal. This is kind of a slow game, as you would a little bit imagine how these games would go now. But one thing I want to focus about this game is the Morphling. I picked this replay specifically to learn a little bit more about Morphling as well. I feel like Morphling is one of those very interesting carries. Kind of been waning and waxing in terms of his popularity, and he was on the rise for about 2 to 3 weeks, and now he's dipping down a little bit. And the reason I want to do learn a little bit Morphling is also because for a future project, I am gonna doing a Morphling segment, if you will. So I'm trying to gather as much information on Morphling as possible. So the thing I want to focus on is how the Dire is playing against the Morphling. Morphling is one of those heroes that, I mean, can in theory have a fast start, but he's more likely to have a very slow start where teams push against him. He doesn't get enough farm and whatnot. Looks like we have a Sprout against Kabu. Kabu, though, not fighting back right now. Fidger gets dropped in, and Kabu is going to be in big trouble. Why was he actually... Not sure. He's trying to... What? Is he trying to ward? There's no ward here. Trying to backstab and push a tower with the Dragon Knight low. In any case, Kabu got caught out and got immediately picked off. But back to my Morphling point. Morphling is one of those heroes, in my opinion, he plays very, very similarly like a Broodmother. And you guys know what a Broodmother does, right? As we do see a little bit of engagement. Nope, just a fake TP. Broodmother is one of those heroes that would push your towers if you leave him alone. And I feel like Morphling does similar things. He needs a Ring of Aquila or a Ring of Basilius to do that. And if he has things like Matsao or a Lincoln Sphere, he could just do it without impunity. He could do it without fear, is what I'm trying to say. Shaker's gonna come around. We do have a slow being used. Nice Fissure Trap. And this is what a Sand King or a Tie Hunter can't give you. Those early game traps. And of course the defensive capability of that long range Fissure as well. And we do see Lu pulling off. 2 kills getting immediately picked up by WE. But yes, going back to the Morphling, he plays very similarly like a Broodmother. If you leave him alone, he's gonna just wreck your towers and whatever else. But if you don't leave him alone, like, he's very survivable in the lane. It's somewhat difficult to gank him, depending what stage of the game. It's definitely very incredibly hard to gank him, especially when he has things like Lincoln Sphere, Manta, and all that stuff. And we do have a lot of hero mobility coming on here and there. But also, the other similarity I find is that it's very hard to actually even stay in the lane against Morphling. Again, it depends on what item he has. Ancient Aberration Ice Blast comes up middle here. Moo explodes here. 2 ultimate being used here for the Beastmaster. Well worth it in my opinion, because it does kill him as well as remove a lot of pressure off the Morphling. Beastmaster, one of the best heroes to gank Morphling with, considering that long durations. And now Morphling don't have to worry about it for a couple more seconds. Now Morphling, once he gets his items, like how Broodmother when he gets his Orchids, it's very hard to come in the lane because she will just Orchid you, slow you, and basically kill you. Same thing with the Morphling. Morphling is one of those heroes that once he gets his Ethereal Blade, will just come find you, or if you go in the lane, he will just kill you and keep on farming. So it's very, very annoying to deal with Morphling in that sense. Now Morphling and Broodmother, the similarity ends there, because Morphling a little bit more item dependent, but once he gets his item, he could go off lane and find supports and kill them, which Broodmother cannot really do. And of course, Morphling's range hero could use items a little bit better. It's definitely a lot harder of a carry. But I feel like the playstyle and the way that teams play against him is very, very similar. Again, there's a Morphling in the lane, then you put a hero in the lane. Don't allow the Morphling to do free farm. And again, it's a very interesting choice here for WE to actually send the Morphling up top. He's going to be going for the Magic Bottle. Morphling, by the way, a lot more mobile as a hero overall, in terms of map mobility compared to the Broodmother. Very interesting choice actually to put the Morphling up top, where arguably is not as safe of a lane. We do have a whole bunch of nukes being used against Icy, and Icy will not survive. Teleportation comes in very, very slow. That is from McQueen in Pain. Gets cancelled as well. And Puck gets that kill with a double damage. Very, very nice. Gonna have the Arcane Boots as well. Yeah, very interesting choice to put the Morphling up top, where this lane is arguably a little bit safer But I guess not so safe as he did get ganked. Whoa, does he have a port out? No, he doesn't. He's basically dead. He's going to try to do as much damage as possible, and he is going to get picked off. Morphling using waveform for that KS, and his creeps might get assassinated as well. And now we do have Crystal Maiden. That is just an illusion. Why is she so small in terms of the illusion? Ancient Apparition Ice Blast comes on the top lane. Morphling comes in. Tower gets destroyed here. Are they going to try to kill that Dragonite? It's going to be tough. Screen of Pain even misses. That did not help out. Dragon Blood is going to be the second skill choice to Max. And then we have Beastmaster being taking down the tower on the bot lane. So again, the thing I want to focus on this game is how Tongfu will play against Morphling. A lot of teams, they just really can't handle Morphling's team's pressure. Generally, when you pick a Morphling, you also pick 4 heroes that's very good at playing 4v5. And let's look at what we have here. We have Shaker, a very good defensive hero. Ancient Apparition, very good offensively. Queen of Pain, as well as Prophet, could have a lot of mobility and catch people out. So offensively, they could play it very, very nicely, and they always have the backup of a Shaker. Also, Shaker, don't forget that he's a very offensive hero because his initiation range is insane. Like, it's that far away. Well, maybe not that far. That's a little bit exaggeration. But generally, that means you could set up, again, Fissure into AA Blast if that one hit. Puck would have been in a pretty big trouble, especially with the waveform coming in. So Shaker is a very offensive hero in his own right as well. So when you see a Morphling team, always look at what his teammates are, because his teammates generally are 4 heroes that could play basically 4v5 and play it very well. And these are the heroes you want to have: Earthshaker, Prophet, Queen of Pain, and Ancient Apparition. So again, it's up to Tongfu to say, okay, do we want to take these 4v5 fights or 5v4 fights and try to pick off the teammates a couple of times, or do you try to fight them 4v4 and stick one guy on the Morphling and make sure he doesn't get off crazy? Because if he does get off big, you're going to be in big trouble. Now, this would be a good time to actually check out how we're doing in terms of gold. We do see a slight lead, 1,000 gold lead here for the Radiant, which doesn't mean too much considering that they are up by... Actually, they're actually down by a tower, and they're still up by 1,000 gold. So this means that Morphling is farming very decently. We do have Icy with 80 creep kills. Morphling was 61. 54, 34, 43. Yeah, for overall on 65 here on the Queen of Pain. So overall Radiant farming quite a bit, a lot better. Nature's Prophet been lasting basically every single creep. Wrath of Nature, of course, helping out as well as a Hand of Midas. Don't forget that he got that right in the beginning. It looks like Dragonite is going to get the last hit of the tower, and that's all he wants right now. Can he get brought down? I don't think so. Ancient Apparition Ice Blast comes in, it's not going to hit too much of anything. But we do have an Invisible Beastmaster comes around. Maybe they're going to turn around here and go for the kill. On the bottom here, Chen getting some farm as well. But yeah, that Prophet is just getting huge. Already Necro 1, and of course, very close to that Necro 2 as well. Midas is actually on cooldown again. Necro Book gets popped here. They want this tier 1 tower. Tower is going to get destroyed. Meanwhile, Tongfu responding correctly on the top lane here and going to go for that tower as well. A lot of action already so far, especially for a Chinese game. 11 kills, a lot of towers being exchanged, and a lot of it's small scale engagement. JJ comes in, try to slow down that push. Kofi against Chen creeps. Hand of God comes in right now to save that creep, and it looks like they want to burst down. How again? It's going to be absolutely rough because the send back, it's really, there's nothing you could do about it. Dragonite's going to get a little bit healing. Meanwhile here, Icy's going to keep on pushing. He has some mobility, and it looks like they are going to set up a gank here against Icy. Are we going to use a Dream Coil? No Dream Coil just yet. Waning Rift, Beastmaster, Roar. I think they're saving the Dream Coil to cancel the teleport out if they need it, and a couple more right clicks will be able to done so. So yeah, very good understanding why, what spells are not being used and what spells are being used, and prevent the escape of the Prophet. And it's very important to slow down that Prophet's farm because he's gonna have about a 20-minute Necro 3 and a Hand of Midas. That is just insane, and that's gonna give him a good segue into things like Hex or Force Staff or whatever he might want to buy. Now, I'm not sure if you guys have been paying attention as I click on these heroes. One of the most interesting item choices is the Beastmaster picking up the Mecha. And the way that I see this is very interesting. We have seen Beastmaster pick up mechs before. Absolute Legend, I believe, is one of those teams that pioneered it. Brought it into the limelight. Again, generally Beastmaster is the one that buys Hood, and Chen is the hero that buys the mech. I feel like it's just their understanding of how important an early mech is. Chen not exactly having the best farm. You gotta keep in mind that early on he was using his Wild Gun and helping out on the bot lane, so he was suffering a little bit in terms of farm. But having an early mech against the burst damage of this team is absolutely crucial, especially for these lower HP heroes like Crystal Maiden and Chen and whatnot. And having it on 2 different heroes is not a bad thing either. A lot of times we see in late game scenarios where Chen has both the mech and also the Hand of God, and he just get picked off because the burst damage is high. Look, we might have a shotgun, we have the Ancient Apparition Ice Blast, and also we have the Sonic Wave. So Chen as a hero could indeed get burst down, and losing him at the start of the fight without the mecha and the Hand of God is really bad. And actually separating it here is not too bad. Yeah. Again, a little bit strange of an item choice. Hand of God comes in, and the Sonic Wave comes in right now, and the Fish are trapping them in, and we do have these guys getting beat down by Roshan. 5 guys surrounding the rope straight. Are they going to try to TP out? How TP's out? Mood does not have a TP. Wow, what a big win there. Ancient Aberration, Ice Blast comes in, and here comes the Dragon Knight. He didn't even TP back to base just to his tier 1 tower. He's going to try to steal or to get the last out on the Roshan. He's not going to get it, and WE is going to get the Aegis. Huge turn of events, and is this fight over here? How's going to come in? No. Yeah, the Sonic Wave plus the Ancient Aberration was just too big. Blinking here from the Puck. Dreamco on top 2 heroes. JJ is going to get the focus upon him. Strength Morphing on the Morphling. Is it going to be enough? He's going to waveform out. Unfortunately, just getting a little bit blocked to the trees. He's out of mana at this point here. And do we have another Fire Breath? No, just cooling down a couple seconds. So Morphling did survive and had the Aegis, so it's not too bad. They lost Ancient Apparition, but they got the Roshan and like the 4 kills, so it's well worth it. And the goal chart, it should be reflecting that. A big jump upwards, EXP jump upwards as well. So Tongfu looks like they're in a little bit of trouble, especially against this team who could really turn on the momentum easily, right? They have a Prophet, they could push, they could go for an easy payoff with Fissure, Ancient Apparition, Ice Blast, and of course the big Sonic Wave that we just saw. And Necro 3 is finished. That's like a 17-minute Necro 3. And he has already got, what, 600 gold as well as the boost of speed. Man, this Prophet's farm is just through the roof. Through the roof right now. How is the only true hard carry here on the Dire squad. And his carry potential is going to be very strong in the mid-game. Keep in mind that once he hits level 16, he is going to be the strongest unit on the map. He is going to get assistance from the Beastmaster aura as he levels it up. As well as Chen's creeps, who does provide some very decent aura. So, I mean, his carry potential is going to be there. The fact that will he be able to out-carry a Morphling? Will he be able to out-carry a very farmed up Nature's Prophet and a severely farmed up Queen of Pain? I'm not too sure. Seems like Queen of Pain is going to be going for a BKB, and she already has it. Wow, the farm is insane. Now, you guys might be asking, why not the Acceptor? You have a very good farm. I personally am not the biggest fan of an early rush Acceptor. I just feel like it doesn't do too much. Now, Acceptor, we know at level 16, makes your cooldown on your ultimate to be at 40 seconds, which is very nice. As well as give you a lot of HP and MP, which is not irrelevant, especially for a fairly frail hero like Queen of Pain. But I feel like when you go for a Acceptor as your first item, a lot of times you get it at level 13, level 12, because she can farm it that quickly, and that's not really helpful. I mean, boost up your level 11 ultimate. It doesn't give you a 40-second cooldown. That's only at level 16. So I feel like it's a very decent second tier item or second core item, just not as your first. And he's going to go for the Black King Bar, which I believe is the proper choice. Sure, there's a Beastmaster reward that goes through your BKB, but for the most part, there's a lot of spell damage on the Dire side. Things like Nova, Puck Orbs, Puck Waning Rift, Axis Fire Breath, and you could block a whole bunch of that damage. That's going to extend your survivability by quite a bit. So what if you get roared? That means that your teammate's not getting roared, and even if you do get roared, you still retain that magical immunity for 10 seconds. So that's very key. AI Splash hits nobody. Moo pops his haste rune here, and looks like we're going to have quite a bit of slow siege. FNTY just leading charge, has his own BKB finish as well. Again, going back to what I said, BKB being important. How backstabs against 5 hero. He has his own BKB, and this team fight is going to be big. Dreamco on everybody right now. Shaker's going to get brought down. They want Chan next. Chan is going to get stunned up by the roar. Barely blinks out alive. Survives because of magical immunity not hitting. Puck's going to die to the Wrath of Nature right now. Move very low in terms of HP, but does have the haste rune. How very low as well. Sonic Wave is going to bring him down to Nice Sprout, making sure they do get the kill. Chan on the run. Crystal Maiden on the run. FNTY will see them right now. Waveform comes in and pick off the Chen. Crystal Maiden does not have the TP, but will be able to fight for another day. Very aggressive fight being taken here by the Dire squad, but they just lost it. They underestimated how many BKB were there, and it looks like Kabu's gonna get hit by a Sprout and then into an AA Ice Blast combo. Is she gonna survive? Yep, just barely. FNTY looking for the kill, taking the tower shots a little bit. Yeah, and looks like FNTY and his squad wins yet another engagement thanks to the BKB. He doesn't have to use his Aegis just yet, and that's huge. That means he could, waveform and very aggressively initiate a team fight. You gotta keep in mind that he could bait a lot of spells. Generally, when you see a Morphling waves in, you just nuke the hell out of him, right? And that means you're not going to have the second round of nukes once he respawns. So it's going to be somewhat very, very rough now that he does have the Aegis of Immortal. Yeah, WE is looking rather strong this game. I didn't even know they were this good of a team. Shaker's going to be going for a Urn, which is not bad. I'm not a big fan of things like mana regeneration items, like Urn and I guess Medallion Courage on Shaker. I feel like Shaker's one of those heroes that need quite a bit of mana pool, and Arcane Boots is a pretty good way to go about it. Soul Ring is actually, Soul Ring is in theory a mana regeneration item, but not really. He just extends, basically, makes your mana pool a little bit bigger, and I feel like that's exactly what Shaker needs. Halfway through the fight, he's always running out of mana, and during that fight, that Urn's gonna regen you what, 20 mana, 10 mana over the course of the entire fight, and that's not nearly enough to drop off a second spell. Ooh, very interesting skill build here. Man, I actually need to pay attention. Like, there's a lot of stuff to talk about, especially in these games where the players are not afraid to go off the beaten path with item choices like Mech Pipe. Ooh, I'll talk about the Mech Pipe in a bit. In terms of, like, go Dragon Blood at level 4 and all that stuff. There's a lot to talk about, and I hope I could be catching them. Double Tornado, gonna try to slow down this push. Axis chopping down. Looks Double Tornado. It's just actually owning the Morphling right now. And Fissure is gonna find Moo. Tower's gonna again get slowly sieged upon. How teleports in right here. And that's gonna be it for the push. Yeah, Double Tornado. Still pretty good. 24 minutes in the game, no joke. But yes, let's go back to the fact that we do have the Shakers maxing his Fissure. For a couple of reasons. Now, if you look at the way that Fissure scales, as you actually level it up, it gives you some decent increase in damage, as well as some very weak increase in stun duration. Stun duration is not really what you want why you want to level up. You level up basically for the damage. And really, Shaker doesn't need to do the damage for the team right now. He is mostly going to be on the lockdown duty, or using it to chase, using it to help your team escape. It's more important for him to cast a Fissure than to cast a very powerful one and not have enough mana for the next one. So the reason that he's not leveling up right now is because he wanted to conserve his mana and make sure that he could cast multiple Fissures and could stun and initiate for his team. Again, he is initiating for a lot. He's initiating for Cold Feet, Ancient Apparition, Ice Blast, big Sonic Waves. If he stuns 2 or 3 heroes, the Sonic Wave is going to also hit 2 or 3 heroes, and that's going to be huge. So very, very big adjustment in terms of skill build. Instead, it's going to get a little bit more levels into the Aftershock, which doesn't mean too much. In fact, it doesn't mean anything at all, because he never really will be next to enemy heroes. But he's leveling at Aftershock for a little bit later on, once he hopefully gets his Blink Dagger, as well as or maybe a Vanguard if he wants to walk in and get off that Echo Slam. So right now the attention is him not maxing that Fissure, and again, it's a very strange adjustment, but it's not a bad one. It's not a bad one. Now, also earlier I was talking about how you will want to play against a Morphling, and how do you want to play with a Morphling. Some teams kind of just leave the Morphling alone. Like, some teams, the Morphling would just be like right here, and he will just be doing his own thing, and it's going to be a 4v5 or a 5v4. Depending how you look at the situation, a 4v4. Again, we're going to see a slow siege. Tower is going to get destroyed. No, there's going to be a Glyph of Fortification. Beastmaster is going to try to micro his best to get the tower denied, and it looks like Puck on the right side is going to get it, but the Fissure hits right now. Initiation against Mu. Hanagai comes in right now. Chan pops a BKB, gets Roar, and that's going to be the end of the engagement. A tower denied, a BKB charged down a drain, and Dragonite taking a tower. That was a big win despite nothing actually happening. So that was a big goal swing here for Tongfu, in favor of Tongfu. We're going to see a slight dip here momentarily. How is farming it up? He's got 172 creep kills. Divided by 26. Is that 6? A little bit over 6. 7? Yeah, 7 per minute. That's like insane. Holy crap. Now, again, some of them neutral, so it's all good. But he's up to 3,600 gold. Dragonite is one of those heroes, once he hit level 16, I don't care if you have a Morphling on the other side, he is going to be the strongest unit. Now, as the game keeps progressing, Morphling will eventually catch up and do the DPS, but if you look at Morphling farm, he's about 60 creep kills behind, and that's not what you want to see. But, of course, we do have Icy here, really farming ahead. Again, 170, again, a lot of it from Hand of Midas, already got the Necro 3, got a couple of towers as well. Point Booster is going to be his item choice, so he's going to be going for a Axe Scepter, Wrath of Nature, which I'm not personally a big fan of, especially, I mean, if you want to use it for farm, I don't think it's good. But, of course, it increases your damage, it gives you more HP, as well as it pushes every single wave. Which, if you want to think it like that, then it's a very, very decent item. A lot of times I see it in pubs, they go Midas into Acceptor into some other useless thing that like basically you get every item that doesn't help the team, which I don't think that's what this Prophet is trying to do. I mean, he's already got Necrobook, right? That definitely helps out the team. We do see Maelstrom being picked up by the Dragon. That increases attack damage as well as magical DPS output by quite a bit, as well as attack speed. All of it very, very relevant. The magical DPS output is going to be somewhat negated by the BKB. But once we move towards more of the mid to late game, the BKB charges will start to wind down a little bit, and that Maelstrom DPS output will be, very, very strong. Looking for more interesting items. Yes, I said I will be trying to talk about this double mech and pipe. Double mech and pipe, in my humble opinion, is the big no-no, especially on the same heroes. Basically, the same reason that we saw earlier why you don't want to get, why you don't want to have the mech and Chen basically on the same thing, because if you get picked off like that, you're gonna lose a lot. And same thing here. If you get picked off, you lose a mech, you lose a pipe, and you lose a roar, and of course the aura as well. Who can forget about the aura? So you lose quite a bit if Beastmaster gets picked off. Now, something going for him is that these set of items and the fact that he's a strength hero makes him extremely, extremely tanky. So for the most part, he should be fine. But you don't want to underestimate the burst DPS output of WE. Double Tornado slowing down this push, and right now Radiant, despite having a Morphling, they want to end this game quicker. At the very least, they're trying to pressure it quite a bit. AI Splash comes in right now. That is going to kill one of these guys. Pipe gets popped as well, but Tower's already destroyed, and I think WE is going to back off. Again, very interesting to point out is that Morphling, usually left alone, is constantly in the middle of these pushes. Yes, he's constantly in the middle of these pushes. Instead of just farming on zone, they're using him as a kind of initiator. Well, not really an initiator, but a frontal tank. Waveform in, pop the BKB, and start right-clicking. And force heroes like force heroes like the Crystal Maiden, Chen, and whatever else backwards. Because even though Morphling doesn't have the biggest DPS output with just a Yasha and a BKB, it's enough to actually force Crystal Maiden back. Like, it's more than enough. Waveform in, BKB. And basically, again, if he draws the roar, fine. Queen of Pain isn't drawing the roar, and right now I think all the roars are going on Queen of Pain. Queen of Pain is going to be going for a Hex, and I do believe Puck is going there for as well. Roshan is back, and both teams are hovering over it. Of course, having the Beastmaster Hawk, very helpful in that. Shaker, barely level 8, so the only change in terms of that level is we have an extra point in terms of Aftershock. I see pressuring the top lane a little bit, drawing the Dragon Knight back, and let's see if that's going to allow W to start the Roshan. I don't think so. Given that this tier 2 tower's up, it's going to be very easy for DK to TP here and go defend that Rosh if necessary. FNTY looking for some kills, gets a TP scroll. We'll have his Mantis out very, very soon. Mantis out is going to be decent against Frostbite as well as the Raining Rift. Of course, it's a very, very decent item to, again, waveform in, pop the Manta, pop the BKB, go to town these supports. Another tier 2 being destroyed, and Tongfu right now is just giving up all these towers. And I don't feel like they're just giving them up needlessly. I feel like they're getting something in return. For example, House getting some free farm. At the very least, they're making sure that the Roshan doesn't get destroyed. Now, with tier 2 being destroyed, there's a little bit more leeway for the Radiant to go into the Rosh Pit, but the tier 2 mid is still firmly standing. And how very happy to farm it up. He will have the Hyperstone now. Just a couple of hundred more go here from the Monir. And How is just farming insane 200 CS in 30 minutes. Still over 8 a minute right now. 8 a minute. That is some insane number. Insane number nonetheless. And we're sitting about 1,000 go almost for the Earthshaker. Let's see if he's going to be going for an Arcane Boots to beef up his mana pool a little bit more. Or he's going to be straight saving up for that Blink Dagger. Kaboo getting double bracer. No go for upgrades just yet. There's a Stout Shield on the Courier. Is that Moose Stout Shield that he dropped early? Let's see what Moose picking up. It's going to be a Vit Booster. Vit Booster into a late game Heart. So he's basically just going to walk in, apply Pipe, Mech, and just right click. Unfortunate thing here for that kind of Beastmaster build is that his right click is not too impressive because you never really get an item that helps your right click. And because of such, people could actually ignore you. So if you're ever going a build like this, well, mech and pipe on Beastmaster is somewhat odd, but if you're playing that kind of utility role where you basically roar and just sit there and look pretty, consider items like the Heaven's Halberd or drums where you apply quite a bit of utility to your team after you roar. I mean, especially Heaven's Halberd. You could de-arm an enemy carry. Drums is not too bad to help you guys chase more or, just run faster or to do more damage in a team fight. So a little bit more utility. I'm not saying this build is bad. In fact, I don't think this build is bad at all. He could run in. He could cause quite a bit of disruption, especially if he finds heroes like Earthshaker. He could actually win a team fight for his team. But it's just it's a big trap if you get these utility items and try to DPS with Beastmaster, because he's only hitting for 94, which is not too much. Go check right now. We're seeing about 75,000 gold lead, 7,500 gold lead here for the Radiant, which most of it is in towers. In fact, actually, only one of it is in towers. They're only leading by one tower. They're leading by Roshan as well. That could count for about 2,500 of the gold lead. All of it, the rest is on the heroes as well as a farm. 239 here on the Prophet, 172, 119. Very impressive farm on 3 heroes. 157, 229, and looks like Beastmaster's got a couple as well. Chen's got a couple as well. In terms of the raw numbers, I feel like Dire's actually farming a little bit better. So why is Radiant leading? You could go, I guess, say this. You know, some of it is from the Midas gold. A lot of here is actually from neutral golds. So the numbers may be a little bit more not really accurate as well. Icy gets a Dream Coil up on the top lane here, but do they actually have enough lockdown to keep him down? Beastmaster is going to be used. Nope, it's going to cancel the roar right now because his Hex is already used. Crystal Maiden drops the ultimate as well, but the Sonic Wave plus Ancient Aberration Ice Blast pipe is used right now, and Chan's going to get roared up right now. Dragonite level 16, Dragon Swarm is going to go on JJ. Look at the splash. He's doing so much damage. JJ is going to get brought down. Shaker drops his Echo, but it's going to get brought down as well because How's BKB'd up. Meanwhile, FNTY hasn't used his BKB yet. Trying to TP out how he's going to make it out alive. Icy bought back. In terms of that engagement, I think that was well worth it. They kill Shaker, they kill the Ancient Aberration, they kill the Prophet, and force him to buy back. And this is off a cost of a Beastmaster dying. I believe everybody else made it out. I don't think Crystal Maiden would have bought back. Yeah, no, definitely not. So yeah, that was a 1 for 3 and a buyback. That was a fairly impressive trade. And they're going to try to get a little bit more in terms of the Roach Pit. This is a very, very bold kind of move because your Dragon Form is running out right now. And notice that Dragonite is saving about 5k gold. He can buy the Hyperstone now, and I think he does have to go for it. I think before that engagement, the reason he hasn't bought it is he doesn't want to basically lose a team fight and lose a Rax. Because at this point of the game, you can't just lose a team fight and lose a Rax. So, still saving the goal. Maybe he's actually going to skip the Milner and go something else. Lifesteal isn't bad if you want to go that route. Assault Curious, not bad either. Going to give you more tanky as well as more damage output with the attack speed and whatnot. We'll see what he ends up going for. Shaker is going to go for Force Staff. Interesting choice. Probably realize that he's not ever going to get up to a Blink Dagger. Force Staff, of course, smaller components, even though it's around the same price. In fact, a little bit more expensive. But smaller components that he could pick up in between team fights. And try to force his way in for, pretty decent Echo. It's not going to be the big Echoes of his life, unfortunately not. But it's going to be decent. And it looks like we have a smoked up party of Tongfu looking for some people. Oh, and Necro 3 is perhaps going to be spotting them out. They're going to try to run from these Necro 3s, but unfortunately will not be able to do so. Have they scalped it out yet? I'm not sure what did they show. No, I don't think these guys would have shown up on the mini-map. And now they're going to break their invis right now and just go for the push. Tier 2 push on the bot. Radiant's going to rotate this. And I'm not too sure what a Radiant's going to defend. Seems like they're not really actively trying to do so. Morphling finally doing what a Morphling does best, which is do this. Just you pressure my tower? Yeah, I'll pressure yours, no problem. And my team is going to do a fairly decent job supporting this. A lot of spell being dropped on how BKB being used as well. Can we get a Beastmaster Roar? Yes, we can. Chan's going to get brought off. Again, that was for a BKB charge on how, as well as this Dragon form. But I guess, a Crystal Maiden, a Queen of Pain is a Queen of Pain. Unfortunately, Morphling had to TP back, and that means that they could not have destroyed this tier 2. Prophet on the top lane TPing in. Got the Axe Scepter. Midas, of course, being constantly used. And, of course, going to be going for the Hex. Hex always a good leaking extension here for Prophet. And they definitely need to have a quick Hex, considering that the BKB durations are running quite low on that Dragonite. It is down to 7 seconds. Dragonite is going to be going for a full purchase of the Assault Curious and still retaining almost go for buyback. Yeah, still retaining go for buyback. Very, very nicely done. Crystal Maiden, just bracers. Half 1,000 gold. Could upgrade to the Strength Shreds if you want to do so. Or maybe Face, depending which route you'd like to go for. Drums, Cloak, as well as the Staff of Wizardry for a 4-staff. I like this. Beastmaster is going to be, well, not going to getting too much. I imagine that he have probably died or was buying some items early on. And Puck already has a Hex and 2k gold in the bank. So Dire, despite not farming as well as Radiant, is keeping up. Man-style finish on Morphling as well as a Black King bar. 2,600 gold. I hope he has something on the chicken because it's not really good farm. Nope. It's got nothing on the chicken, nothing on the ground either. I imagine the next item is going to be going for is either Butterfly or I have Scotty. Shotgun in this late stage game is just not going to be that effective. I mean, I guess you could shotgun a Crystal Maiden, but you don't really need a shotgun to kill CM, right? Butterfly is decent because you could, give yourself quite a bit of physical survivability. And House, dishing out a lot of DPS already. Yep, definitely is. He has enough go for another Hyperstone if he wants. But again, Hao doing a very good job saving for buyback. He's never getting caught out, and as a carry, that's all you could ask for. Looks like Necro 3 is going to get popped. Ancient Apparition Ice Blast comes in right now as well. That's going to hit Mu. He's out of mana at this point. Dragon Form being used. Fissure on top, and they're going to push him back a little bit more as well. Wow, nicely bait here. They baited out the Dragon Form, and I think Radiant could just wait out the DK Form, and then they could go back for the Tier 2. And that seems to be exactly what they're doing right now. This is one of the weaknesses of DK Forms, that if you get baited out and you're not going to do too much. I wonder if this illusion actually will splash. Well, whatever it will splash or not, it's providing his teammate aura, which is insane. You got a sub-chorus aura? No problem, I got yours as well. And it looks like it is splashing just a tiny bit. Tower's going to get slowly siege upon. FNTY's got the double damage, and looks like they're going to make it go. Fissure defensively being used, making sure FNTY is absolutely fine. He's got the bottle for the regen as well. Tower taking some big damage. And that double tornado, jeez, man. It is just absolutely insane how much damage and how much slow it's been doing. 15% is how much it does. BKB gets popped here by How. He's going to be fine. He's going to get sent back as well. Does he have the TP scroll? He's going to purchase it very, very soon. It is on cooldown. Unfortunately, BKB was used. His Dragon Form is going to be out. And this is time for WE, if they want to go for it, WE, Green and Pain already level 16, very close to 17. Going to be going for Hex as well. So we're going to see, at the very least, 2 Hexes on the Radiant. One's already completed. I don't think Ancient Apparition will ever get close to Hex. Going to be going for Force Staff instead. Shaker, not close to Zone Force. So kind of a lot of jumping around, dilly-dallying around. And the not much action being taken for both teams. But both teams being a little bit more defensive. I wonder why they didn't just go for it. I mean, Dragonite, his DK form was out. And they really, in my opinion, could take a fight. Now, I know I just said that, Dragon Form's out and you can take a fight. Sometimes that's a very dangerous mindset, especially when Dragonite, despite being a melee hero, the fact that he has these kind of item, he is going to dish out a lot of damage. So that can be a little bit rough, especially if you want to try to force things. Fissure's going to hit on 2, Ancient Apparition, Ice Blast on 2 as well. You can see that whenever the Fissure just hits, Mu is just popping the pipe because he is expecting a initiations coming in. It's always coming in. A Blast plus Fissure, so much damage. Oh no, Microwave! Because that's 100, that's 600, excuse me, 100 free gold for the Radiant. Here we go, up to another 3,800 gold is the Dragonite. I think they are going to just walk into the Roche Pit right now. Just a second incarnation of Roshan. And I think they are going to get the Aegis for free. The question is, do you actually throw it on the Dragonite? I think so. I think so. Despite that he doesn't respond with the Dragon Form, still some big DPS output. And right now, Radiant not taking this fight. I mean, how odd it is to be in this stage of the game as we see AI Blast comes in right now. Champ perhaps will be blinking. Nope. Gets netted up and will not be able to blink. Fissure does hit. But already the Aegis on How. And here comes the puck. And I've got gets dropped down here. Echo Slam dropped on Sanshine. He's going to get Hex. He's going to get Hex for sure. He does get Hex. He gets picked off right now. Meanwhile, Beastmaster, very, very okay because got a lot of HP regeneration and resistance. How? What the BKB? Look at those crits. He's got crits. It's flowing in from the chicken. He's going to get a triple kill. Of course, the magical bounces of the damage were absolutely insane as well. Gem gets picked up here. I think Earthshaker dropped that one. So, welcome to Frost Epicenter. Says How, as he is just carrying things up. Meanwhile, Prophet doing whatever he could have done in that team fight, which is teleport up top lane here and try to get a little bit damage on the tower. He did get some, about halfway HP lockdown. But yes, Dragonite right now is the strongest hero in the map. Still has to go for the Melnir if he wants to buy right now. Again, saving for the... No, actually, he could just buy it. No reason to save, considering that he does have the Aegis of Immortal. Or he could finish Daedalus. Right now, it's critting for like about 400, I think. Or is it 600? And of course, that 600 splashes. Ugh, that's ugly. That's ugly. Of course, there's such a lot of healing spells on the Radiant. There's a Pipe, there's a Mech, there's a Sent Back, there's a Hand of God. Yeah, there's just an answer for everything. Now there's a Force Staff on Chen, so they can even push him back. Crystal Maiden has opted for Phase Break, a little bit more mobility. Breach of Travel on Beastmaster as well, so he's going to go for a little bit more global gank, global dominance as well. Now, one thing that Radiant can be doing, the fact that they do have a Hex on the Prophet, is they could go all over the map and go for pickoffs. basically anybody, like for example Chen, if he sees a hero in position, could blink in and start slowing and just go for pick off with the help of Nature's Prophet. Now, this kind of strategy usually works out very, very nicely in pubs, as well as European games where the heroes tend to split up a little bit more. In terms of Southern East Asian, in particular Chinese games, not going to work out as well because, again, teams are basically holding each other's hands, and it's going to be very, very difficult, even in a 3v1 situation, to go for a safe pickoff because there's going to be people teleporting in, there's going to be Chen setting people back, Hand of God, all that kind of defensive stuff. So it's really, really tough to go for a two-man picks off. It sounds really good on paper, but the fact that both teams will be responding very quickly with things like Butcher Travels or Hand of Gods, it is going to be tough. FNTY is going to be going for a Butterfly. Good time to check. Again, check out how we're doing in terms of go chart. Again, about 5,000 goal lead here for the Radiant, which actually doesn't mean anything anymore. For a couple of reasons. Reason number one, they were leading about by 70,000, 7,500. Man, 5,000 to 7,500. Yeah, they were leading by about 7,500 just 10-15 minutes ago, and since then they have given that lead up a little bit. And also, a 5,000 goal lead right now isn't actually anything. That was what, a 10% gold in lead, whereas before it was more like a 20 or 25% gold lead. So percentage-wise, that 5,000 means nothing, like nothing at all. Especially, again, in my opinion, that Dragon Knight is the strongest unit in the map right now. They have no answer for this DK. DK is gonna go all out dataless, and he's got it. It's flying in right now. So, if you're Radiant, what do? I think the only thing they could do is hope to survive that 5 seconds of the BKB, juke him out, juke the BKB charge or something, and then just hope they could kill him. I think that's a plan. They got double hexes. They got a lot of chain stuns. So in theory they can. But again, there's Hand of God, there's Mech, there's Pipe, there is Sandbag. It is just really, really tough. So maybe the other game plan is for Morphling to go really, really late. Really late Morphling. Again, Dragon Knight, he has hit his peak in terms of what his hero potential can do. Of course, he can still get items, but Morphling late game with, Scotty, with Manta, Butterfly, it's a different beast. It's a different beast. Dragon Knight's going to be leading the charge a little bit. Chen using Holy Persuade to dominate creeps and whatever else. I think they're just waiting for the Holy Persuade to come off cooldown, and then they're going to start to make a go. Yep, there we go. Dragon Knight in the front does not give a damn hitting that tower. And Dragon Knight's very much a DPS hero at this point. We see a lot of teams build him tank, but for now he's as DPS as he could get. Of course, he could even upgrade to Monair a little bit later on. Or maybe he's going to get lifesteal after that Aegis is gone. Definitely needs a way to sustain the fight for him. Here we go. Pipe's going to get popped right now. That means they're going to be only interested for this tier 2 tower. Or they're going to try to get this tier 2 tower. I'm pretty sure Tongfu won't be going for the racks right now, because if you're going for the racks, generally you save it. You save the pipe for it. They are going to try to initiate him. Again, you can see these teammates are not even using their Holy Persuade Hand of God for him, because they know how can tank this. And they are going to just send him back. No big deal. Yep. So the tier 2 push is done. Slow incremental advantage being claimed back by Tongfu. And I just want to remind you guys, 15 minutes ago, we saw or maybe a little bit longer than that. In fact, 20 to 30 minutes ago, we saw the Roshan. The Aegis got stolen by Tongfu. We saw the mid fight over here didn't go too well for Tongfu, where Dragon Knight backstabbed and eventually got picked off. So all these teamfights that are not going too well for Tongfu, now I feel like they're in a good grasp of the game, despite the fact they're standing in front of in their own base and perhaps trying to set up a smoke anchor or whatever else. I feel like they're in the lead. They could go for a big mid push if they wanted to do so. The goal lead is not that big anymore. The experience lead now in the favor of Radiant. Item-wise, nothing too much being added. Meanwhile, on the Radiant side, double hex is already up. Butterfly is done. Mech has been up. Force Staff has been up. And also Force Staff on Lu. I think Lu is this is going to be the most important hero for his team. Either they kill Dragon Knight or they try to kill the 4 other heroes. And I feel like the 4 other heroes for Tongfu, they're doing a very good job to staying back. It's like, yeah, man, no problem. We'll just have our DK to sit in front and tank the full brunt of the work. So it's fine. And it looks like he is going to be going for a Mjolnir very, very soon. That's the recipe being purchased. Curry's going to go to Secret Shop. Now again, Gonna reiterate the fact that how is Tongfu playing against the Morphling? They're not afraid to go late game against the Morphling, and they're also doing a very good job of staying together, not getting picked off by the solo Morphling Ethereal Blade build. Now, obviously, FNTY did not go for Ethereal Blade. It's just a different playstyle. Ethereal Blade is generally not going to be that effective against Chinese teams, considering that they do stay together very, very frequently. And you might be able to perhaps kill one, perhaps, again, keyword perhaps, with mech, pipe, and all that stuff up. But generally, once you use your big shot, that means in the next, like, if a teamfight breaks out right then, you're going to be in big trouble. How? His Aegis is going to be running out very soon. Ancient Aberration Ice Blast comes in right now. There's going to be Blink Hex. They're trying to burst him down before a team fight. He's going to pop his BKB right now. No, that wasn't his BKB. Dream Call on top of everybody. Dragon is going to come back alive with his BKB as well. It's a very bold exchange of moves. And here comes his Dragonite. Dragon Form already used. They're going to Dragon Tail. Yep, Lou's gets picked off right now. Ice is going to TP out. That was actually a very, very good exchange. Yeah, well played by WE. They lost a Shaker for a Dragonite Aegis. Yeah, I think they would take that trade any day. Unfortunately, though, Roshan is going to be back in a couple of minutes. They got to get somehow stronger, go for another pickoff before the Aegis comes back. And perhaps if you could pick him off in the Roshan fight, that's going to be decent. Yeah, it shows you that the Radiant has what it takes to kill even a Dragonite at this stage of the game. Even though he has BKB, Assault Curious, and all that stuff. He is quite killable. And guess how that team fight started? That team fight started with the Fissure locking him down from afar. Ancient Aberration using his ultimate, even leading it in, and that's a power of a Shaker Fissure that, you know, not many other hero could give you. And I know everybody's thinking right now, well, Blink Burrow Strike Sand King could also give it to you, but again, you know, Blink Dagger kind of changes the equation, right? If there's a Blink Dagger on Shaker, you know, he will be a very good hero too. In any case, I'm trying to say that Shaker is just a little bit more underrated, I feel like, as a hero. And I'm glad that at least teams from the East are trying him out. Vlad's is going to get picked up, so I thought it was going to be hard. So again, he's going to go for the utility route. Man, if Radiant could ever kill Mood, they are hitting the jackpot. I mean, like a huge jackpot. That's a mech, that's a pipe, and that's a Vlad. Now, Vlad's is not like, it's not like anybody's going to be really life-stealing. I mean, Creeps can, and Beastmaster can, and the melee DK form can, but they're really getting for the mono regeneration, the push power, as well as the armor, which is not irrelevant against heroes like against the Prophet, who's going to be doing a little bit of physical DPS, I imagine. Also the Morphling, who does quite a bit of physical DPS. Here we go. We're going to have a very key Roshan fight. This Roshan not only drops Aegis and Cheese. Ooh, that Mech of God. That Mech of God. That Wrath of Nature does so much, and Hand of God healing it back up. That Wrath, man. I mean, I said it wasn't really used for kind of team fight engagement purposes, but it might as well be. I mean, that Wrath of Nature blew about half of Crystal Maiden's HP. That's not really fair. That's not really fair at all. Did you see Prophet teleporting up top? It's going to be somewhat difficult to actually get the push against Prophet as well, because every time Wrath of Nature is happening, well, you know, it's just tough. We do see a Mantis out being picked up on Nature's Prophet. That's something that we don't see every day. And I'm not too sure whether this is the best of item choice, because your Illusion's not going to survive that long, considering that there's so much AoE. Like, Dragonite is an AoE machine at this point. So I really don't like that item choice, but hey, that's what he's gone for. I think things like perhaps a Desolator might be a little bit more useful, or maybe a Maelstrom of your own, maybe a MKB, that's not too bad either. And how is he going to go for the Roshan? It's still not up just yet. FNTY getting his farm. Now, a lot of time, again, if we're seeing, basically, if this was a European game, the Morphling would be right here. He'll be constantly pressuring the towers and whatnot. And the reason that he's not right here is because there's so many ways to actually gank him, BKB or not. And generally, teams are extremely coordinated for those ganks. They either go for a quick smoke, Beastmaster Roar, or a Hex to initiate. And that Morphling, if he gets picked off right now, that means the Aegis is going to be forfeited and perhaps even a Rax. So we don't see that kind of risky kind of playstyle. Puck picks up a rune and we'll be ninjing back out, no problem. Up to 3100 gold as well. So this is going to be a Lincoln Sphere, I imagine. Or it's going to be a Scotty. A Scotty Puck. I've not seen that quite a bit. Hey, but it does provide slow, right? Right, Aegis is going to be right back, and teams have already started fighting over it. As to say that, Dragonite is up top. He doesn't have a teleport, TP to teleport to. He does have a boost travel, so never mind. Could be teleporting onto Beastmaster's Hawk as well as his boar. So he is constantly with the team, and he's slowly starting to pressure. Again, got to keep an eye out on the minimap. He can be easily picked off. We saw what happened last time. If you throw a Shaker Fissure, A Ice Blast, and 2 hexes on him, you can bring him down. It is a heavy investment, but if he's by himself, then he's by himself, right? Critting for about 700 right now. Of course, crits will splash. Here comes the Dragon Knight. I think they're going to just charge in for the Roche. Again, a little bit of a bold way to go about it. Doesn't have buyback hold in Dragon Knight right now. He could have just farmed for 4 minutes or more and get that buyback goal and then go back for the Roche pit. But right now, it seems like Tongfu feels like they're in the lead and they're going to go for it. They do have sufficient map control. They have the Tornado, making sure nothing fancy is going to be going on. Aegis gets picked up. No, Cheese gets picked up by Dragon Knight. I like that choice, considering that he can retain his dragon form. And who's going to pick up the Aegis? It's going to be Puck? Nope, it's not going to be Puck. It's going to be Mu. I like that choice as well, considering that he provides his team so much aura. And I think this is Tongfu about to finish this game to a lesser, I guess, what's a way to put it? Lesser experience replay watcher, replay viewer. So like, where did this game turn around? And to be honest, it's very difficult to identify where a single instance where the game turned around. I feel like Hao just got too big eventually, and there's no way that he could have got picked off. Now, we could identify individual places, like getting Aegis on Dragon Knight earlier, or him picking off. I think we had a decent initiate where Puck got a 3 or 4 man Dream Coil, and Dragon Knight just got a triple Ultra Kill, something like that. And you could say that that was the turning point of the game. So there's many different ways to actually look at it. But overall, I feel like Hao just played mostly a perfect game. Didn't get picked off. His farm is 428 in about 55 minutes. Still no ZSMJ record, but I mean, pretty impressive in modern day Dota, where farming is generally not the priority. Definitely the priority in this game, though. One of those long-term, slow farming game. In terms of item progressions, we see a 3500 go here on Nature's Prophet. I'm expecting him MKB. If you go for a man style, you're going for a physical DPS. MKB is not bad. Again, Maelstrom, Desolator, those are not bad either. Daedalus? I guess Daedalus is decent. But Daedalus against so much armor on DK is just not going to be effective. Whereas MKB does give you that 100 damage magical proc. So that's very, very decent. No item progression here on Queen of Pain, perhaps saving for buyback. How are we doing in terms of Morphling? Morphling's got 5k gold. Again, I'm going to be expecting an Eye of Skadi on him, as Eye of Skadi plus Matsao, those illusions will kill a maiden alone. This master using that Creature Travel all over the map. We'll have to go for the heart very, very soon. Again, no reason to save for buyback, given that he does have the heart. Dragon Knight on the top lane here, up to another 3500 gold. Completely maxed out at this point. Completely maxed out. If he wants to do anything else, he has to drop the cheese. And I don't think he will drop the cheese, given the fact that he definitely needs to hopefully survive with that. Yep, you can see Tongfu is slowly creeping past the equilibrium point. They're winning these team fights. They're setting up wards. And WE, they're falling back. Usually, or before, like 15 minutes before, they were past that line. And they're being a lot more aggressive, trying to take towers. But right now, they are on the defense. What W is hoping for is Dire to make a mistake, you know, someone get picked off, and then they go for a 4v5 push. That's what they're waiting for. And that sounds so odd. I mean, yeah, they have a Morphling, but Morphling is just not enough. He's getting out carried by the Dragon Knight. It's not to say that Morphling played bad. He's 2-1-7. He's got 350 creep kills. But he just can't keep up. Like, these items is just not going to keep up with the DK. DK up to 4k go. Seems like Dire interesting to at least pressure the bot lane a little bit more. You maybe even go for a Rax push. I wonder if Tongfu is bold enough to just walk up the hill. I mean, even though they're very, very strong right now, walking up a hill against the Ancient Aberration as well as an Earthshaker with the Force Staff, always so dangerous. But seems like they can go for it. Dragon Form gets popped. Ice Blast gets used just on Hao. And they're going to wait out that debuff a little bit more. If they want to go for the high ground, look towards Mu popping that pipe, and they're going to charge up the high ground very easily. Drums is going to get used. How it's down to about half HP. There's a pipe, and they are going to immediately charge up the high ground. Mu's going to walk in. He has Aegis. He doesn't care. He tanks one of the Hex. Hex, by the way, has 30-second cooldown, so that second Hex is the only one they have left. Beastmaster survived that as well. He gets the Lightning Shield. So a whole bunch of spells being dropped here and there. Everybody's okay. Mu still got the mech. Yeah, he's going to pop it right now. In fact, they're going to keep going. Hand of God gets used as well. Dragon Knight focusing on the tower. And the slow siege of Tongfu It's unstoppable at this point. Yeah, they're gonna get a tower. Tongfu, or excuse me, Mu gets bitten up by the frost. Sprout goes in, Ancient Aberration, Ice Blast comes in right now. They're gonna kill Mu. They don't even want Mu because he's got the Aegis right now. Shaker gets hexed up. Shaker's done, so no big AoE. JJ's gonna get focused. He's gonna get blown up power as well. We do see the Crystal Maiden gets brought off, but who cares about the Crystal Maiden? Dragon Knight's gonna focus on the Rax, and Rax number 1 gets destroyed. Rax number 2 gets destroyed. Very, very clean push from Tongfu. We knew exactly what they needed to do. Pop the pipe, walk up the hill, hit heroes, don't chase aggressively. Again, a lot of teams would just chase up here and be like, oh, we won the game. Just do what they need to do, play it very, very smart, very, very safe. And overall, very strong performance for Tongfu so far. Is the game over yet? I don't think so. I don't think so. I guess one of the, I don't want to say good or bad. I'll let you guys decide on that too. But one of the quote-unquote good or bad thing about late game is that even if you're down 1 racks, 2 racks, if the enemy makes a big mistake and let's say lose you the Aegis or gets picked off, you could immediately just kill them and then go back and get a couple of racks of your own. Because at this stage of the game, heroes take an hour to respawn. You do so much damage to towers that towers aren't even like really defensive structures anymore. So you can actually win a team fight and win the game. So if you're one of these teams, you never really want to count yourself out. But after that team fight, we gotta look a little bit more in terms of item progression. Lincoln Sphere is picked up here against for Puck, which is nice. There's a couple of single target spells. Blocks the fissure, blocks the hexes, which is extremely important. If Puck gets hexed at the beginning of the team fight, they lose quite a bit. They lose their own hex, they lose the Dream Core, they lose a Raining Rift. So they definitely do not want to lose that. So Lincoln Sphere is not a bad choice. And looks like Puck doesn't actually need to help his team to do the DPS because Dragon Knight's already doing quite a bit. Dragon Knight still 5k gold. Did he buy something? I think he already bought something. But as I said, I don't see anything. His last item is going to have to be Lifesteal. If he gets anything else, I'm going to be like, It's going to be satanic. He definitely has attack speed to operate it. Definitely has the attack speed. But unfortunately, so far don't have the slot to go for it. W looking for those pickoffs. Yep. At this point in the game, they're not that strong. But if they find a hero, they have 2 hexes, they have a 4-staff and a fissure. They have a Kofi for support lockdown. They definitely have enough chain stun to just kill a person outright. But Dire, they know, like, oh, we see our creeps pushing your base and you're not here to defend it. Well, guess what they're doing? Definitely smoke ganking. So now they do see the Prophet leaving back and they feel a little bit more safe to leave their own base and perhaps go for a little bit of pick off on their own. I mean, Smoke of the Sea, when it first came out, I remember, like, over 1.5 years ago, I felt like. Man, has it been that long? Man, I feel like I've been casting for too long. It's like, oh, 1.5 years ago, Smoke of the Sea came out. Anyways, when Smoke of the Sea came out, I originally, at the first initial impression, I thought it was a very weak item. Overrated, perhaps, even. Because a lot of times you see teams be able to prepare for it, adjust for it, just off good map sense. And then it came around when I saw the successes of Smoke of the Sea and be like, it sometimes wins you game. If you get those pickoffs, it's because of Smoke. And of course, it's a very, very strong early to mid-game ganking item. We see teams like Myth Trust use it to almost perfection, I want to say. Absolute Legend, Complexity. They are great teams that use Smoke of the Sea to very good uses. And then now I'm coming back, again, swinging back on the other side. It's like, Smoke of the Sea sometimes is just not that good because teams do expect it. Teams are prepared for it. Dragon Knight pops his form right now and it's going to go up on the high ground. Slow Siege, Wrath of Nature doing some big bounces. Mech already getting used, so that's a good start here for the Radiant, trying to defend this. Fissure's gonna hit, Kofi's gonna hit as well. No, Kofi not taking off right now. Fissure already used, Pipe is already used as well, so that's gonna be about a minute cooldown on that Pipe, and they haven't got the high ground advantage. Generally, again, when you want to pop a Pipe, you want to charge in. So let's see if Tongfu want to stay their ground a little bit more. Again, a traditional Chinese team's like, well, let's back off, let's wait for a minute right now. I think they perhaps are waiting for a minute, because, again, there's no reason to be aggressive right now. They have the momentum on the bot. The mid is not getting really pushed in, but they have a little bit of time in there as well. They're going to clean up all these creep wave. But the other unfortunate thing is that Dragon Form is running out soon. Yeah, they are going to back off. Dragon Knight's going to get sent back. No rush. No rush for Tongfu. Again, most team would have just said, oh man, we have the stronger carry. Let's just charge up the hill. Tongfu says, Pipe's down. DK Form is down. Let's just take it slow. We got 7k stock piled up on the DK. Because, it's cool to have no inventory slots and be fully maxed out. This is only 60 minutes in. He was maxed out about, like, what, I want to say during the 50-minute mark. That's how fast he's been farming. Up to 500 CS now. We're looking at 9. No, actually not 9. Yeah, about 9 CS per minute. Which is definitely not as impressive as 4 CS per minute or 8 CS per minute a while back. This is actually very cute and very ironic. An Alpha Wolf chasing a Crystal Maiden, which basically gives her like plus 20. That's cute. Maybe a little bit more. Maybe a little bit more. How much does it actually give? Like 16%? 30%. Holy but Jesus. 30%. Okay. Alright. So Dragonite, if the aura is intact, 30% 146 is about like 42 more. It's not relevant. 42 more damage is like Demon Edge, right? How much does Demon Edge usually? Man, I feel like I knew this game. 46. Alright. I'm close. I was like, I'm sure it gives you like 40 something. Alright, that's gonna be the 4th Roshan. It's gonna be the 2nd cheese on the team. Nothing the Radiant could do about it. They can't really leave the base because the Creequilibrium's completely being pushed. Tongfu has already taken care of that one. Aegis and cheese. Alright, so alright, how do we distribute this? You give it to the Crystal Maiden. Crystal Maiden's waiting. He's like, so do I get a cheese? Yeah, she gets a cheese. Nice. Puck kicks up the Aegis. Puck's got 3k gold. Scythe gets picked up by the Beastmaster, so no longer a quote-unquote useless utility hero who, after he roars, again, he does so much for his team. Vlad, Mech, Pipe, he's decked out too, man. Look at how fast these guys are farming. And the gold chart, yep, now down to 0, but back in this point, I already said that Dire was leading, and they're definitely leading completely by now. Again, the gold chart doesn't show that they're leading. They're quote-unquote even. But if you look at the game state, this is not an even game. Tongfu perhaps going for the last push. Although, again, we've seen some very good defenses, forcing out usage of Pipe, Mecha, trying to burn HP of Hao down. They're also doing a very good job of forcing Hao to kind of use his Dragon Form a little bit early. If you can force it out, all you have to do is just hold for a minute or so, and that Dragon Form is going to be out. So he's got to be somewhat careful. Don't pop a DK form prematurely. And of course, a Pipe shouldn't be popped prematurely as well. With that said, they can pop everything and just charge right in if that's what they want. Shaker being in a very good position. Hawk, though, is scouting him out. So Shaker thinks he's safe, but he's not really. If he gets ward up, he is going to get brought down. I think that's the target they do want. They don't want... there's the Dragon Form being used? No. They pretend they don't see him. They do see him, right? Dragon Form is used. It's time to go. There's a Hex. A whole bunch of spell being dropped on Hao. He's blown up completely. We are going to have buyback. He does have Breach of Travel. He's going to be coming right back right now. And where is he going to be teleporting to? Force Sap Echo on the high ground. Awoke's going to get focused. He's going to get Force Sap up. Here comes the Morphling. Going to be focusing here. Hand of God. Teleport back by Moo. Moo's going to get blown up as well. Great defense by Team WE. Where's the DK? Where's the DK? DK did not Breach of Travel in. Interesting choice. Interesting choice to not Breach of Travel in. But again, this is why you don't give up. In WE, they were losing a lot of team fight, but if you do go for a good pickoff, you can actually just extend the game. And who knows, if Dragonite gets picked off a couple more times, Morphling is going to get big, already up to a IF Scotty. Very nicely defend. Again, all started because of a Fissure locking him down, Hex on top of it, Cold Feet, AI Splash, Blink, and Sonic Wave. Just a whole bunch of spells. And once DK was removed, yeah, go ahead, kill everybody. So if your name's Dragonite, what do you do here? It's kind of rough. Do you actually sell your BKB? And yep, you do. You sell your BKB and buy a new one. You can see the duration is at 10 seconds. Needs a little bit more magical immunity. But that's if he gets to pop it off, which clearly in that last team fight, he was not even able to pop it off. So it seems like right now we do have Tongfu being the stronger team, but they're having a difficulty going into the base because Fissure and of course the Ancient Apparition Ice Blast are just some of the more difficult spells to push up against. Of course you have a Prophet Raffinaturing up. Prophet's been switching items. You know you're rich when you are selling tier 4 items to buy other tier 4 items. Acceptor was so, as Hanamidas was so as well for BKB. Of course for the Manta as well as the Daedalus. I personally again don't really like the Daedalus because plus damage is not the best way to deal with high armor heroes like Dragonite. At least mechanically, that's not the way you want to go. DK drops his cheese to the Crystal Maiden, okay. And he's finally gonna get a Manta Sao. Okay, so not lifesteal. Manta's what he wants. Of course, the Manta Sao Dragon Forms, Illusions, Wolf Splash. And he does have quite a bit of stats. Yeah, one thing about Manta Sao is that it does work with crits. So your Illusions will be able to crit as well. And that can be the reason why Prophet is going for Manta and crits. But still, you're critting for what? 100, 200? Whatever the exact value is against the Dragon Knight who has 1 billion armor. How much does he has right now? He has 41 armor. This is not counting in the aura coming from the mech, as well the plus the aura coming from the Vladimirs. So that's a lot more armor, at least 10 more armor for him right now. It looks like pick off attempt here for Tongfu. If they get a pick off right now, they just flat out win the game. But Radiant says, yeah, you know, we're not gonna really find out who's there. We're gonna just stay in our base. Okay, it says they're critting for 700, but clearly they're not critting for 700. So I think they're critting for like 100 to like 150 or something. Like, it just doesn't actually do that much. Tongfu taking their sweet time. They're like, man, we got the advantage. I think. Are they gonna go away for next Roshan? Next Roshan's 5 minutes away. This is exactly what I mean by one of those traditional Chinese games, right? Where they're just, oh, yeah, let's just farm. We're gonna go for the safe approach. And a lot of viewers hate games like this. I love games like these. I'd rather see games go a little bit longer, but it's well played, than someone getting picked off. Someone getting picked off, Mr. Dragon Knight. He pops a BKB and fight, bro, fight. He pops a Manta as well. Oh, he's just gonna run with this 10-second BKB. All right, he's not gonna fight. Fair enough. Even though he is big hero, he probably can't kill all 5 by himself within 10 seconds, and he will get brought off. He will get picked off after the BKB is done. So, fair choice. But that's kind of what I meant. I mean, if, for example, if he made a mistake and the game would have been over right there, yeah, sure, you would have got a shorter game, and that quote unquote would be a little bit more interesting to watch. But for me, I'd rather watch perfectly played games, and for both teams, I think they're playing rather well so far. W still holding on despite that they shouldn't have. Again, they're losing in terms of farm, in terms of item, in terms of experience, losing in many departments, but they're still in the game. Tongfu, they're so far ahead, but they can't win it. They can't win it right now. But they have gotten this far ahead because of the great play so far. So, yeah, both teams are just playing rather well. And this is kind of what you expect from the finals, right, of East Qualifiers. Two really high-class Chinese teams going at it. If you haven't watched the series, I won't spoil, you know, who actually wins the entire series. But you probably know, because I definitely talked about it before in, you know, DWS and whatnot. Good time to check item progression. I don't think it would matter that much. Puck going for MKB. At least I think this is MKB. I mean, it can be a day list, but there's a butterfly on the enemy side, so I'm expecting MKB. We're gonna see perhaps a Shiva's guard on Chen. I mean, I feel like Assault Curious is a little bit better if you want to go offensive, especially if the minus armor does apply to buildings and whatever else. Shiva's guard, in my opinion, a better item choice if you're being defensive. First of all, you need it sooner. It's cheaper. It gives you more AoE damage. Of course, it slows the entire team's attack speed, so I personally like the item a little bit more, defensively at least. And yeah, not much other item progression. We do see a Blink Dagger finally being picked up here, and how he's trying to charge in. Oh, Dragon Tail, a little bit out of range. Puck comes in right now as well. He does get a Hex off. He gets a Mech off as well. They're going to roll Chan. Force that backwards here. Dragon Knight comes in. Who's going to be stunning? Stunning Chan. BKB gets popped. Chan dies in like 2 seconds. Hit him. Yep, he's going to be dead right now. Meanwhile, Hao, very healthy in terms of health. And Luke gets 4 hit. He's going to be dead as well. And here comes the Prophet. Prophet thinks he's survivable, but not so much either. Prophet's going to go down. Hao comes here, and he's still going. Hao's going to destroy yet another hero. Strength Morph not going to be enough. Chen buys back with the BKB, but Hao says, no problem. But, oh no! What the hell? Was that a right click here from IC? He just picked him up. Okay. So they won the team fight, but they can't push in. Because everybody and the mothers got buybacks. Nature's Prophet got buyback. Queen of Pain got buyback. Morphling got buyback. And I think Ancient Apparition perhaps bought back as well. So yeah. Again, both teams not giving any ground. But this is perhaps starting to be a losing battle for WE because they're using these resources for buybacks instead of upgrading their items. And they definitely need to upgrade their items to hope to win. We're still trying to get to the Shiva's guard. We'll have it in about 600-700 gold. Morphling is, well, with the buyback, what do you get now? He has a lifesteal, which is not a bad way to start, because he will be able to tank a little bit, at least a little bit. But if the Dragon Knight's focusing on you, you're dead either way. So, not sure how much work that thing is actually going to do. I'm curious, actually, if anyone's going to go for a Basher into Abyssal Blade. Like, even though these are poor Abyssal Blade holders, like a Nature's Prophet with Abyssal Blade is like just, like, bad. Morphling with Abyssal Blade is just bad. But you gotta have some way to deal with that Dragon Knight. I mean, sure, it's a bad item, but if you stun their strongest hero and try to somehow kill him through all of that, it's not bad. Now, as again, I've been saying things like Mech, Pipe, Hand of God. Like, all of that stuff was good, like, you know, 40 minutes ago, 30 minutes ago. Right now, it's actually not gonna... It's gonna do some. It's gonna heal about, let's say, 500 worth of HP. But 500 is not actually... That doesn't mean too much, especially when you're critting for 700 and all that stuff. So... but again, they can't go for Abyssal Blade because they got no gold. Because they're saving for buyback, so... At one point in this game, WE would be out of buyback. They got to start winning some fight, going for some pickoffs. And what we saw earlier was really nice. But again, if Tongfu says, we don't see any heroes on the map, we'll just wait. We got a bot lane pressuring up. So eventually, you're going to have to defend this, right? And when you do defend this, Tongfu is going to just slowly go out of base. They don't want to repeat this mistake here where Hao gets seen and gets picked off. So, yep, now you see Prophet is seen, and they immediately go out as a team. So this is what perfect play means. This is exactly what perfect play means. This is gonna be what, the 5th Roshan, the 6th Roshan. Good job by good job by the Prophet player. Continue scouting out the Roshan. So did you know the Roshan is being done right now? Morphling's gonna come in. He doesn't even have a slot to steal the Aegis. Aegis cheese gets destroyed. Look at how many cheeses are on the ground. Jesus, Crystal Maid is gonna get a cheese wall. Is that 2 cheese? La Fromage. There's an MKB finish on Puck. We don't see that too often. Where be our Dragon Knights? Dragon Knight up to about 8,000 gold again. I wonder if it's going to be switching items. I don't think he will. He's going to be just keep selling BKBs for more BKBs. I think that's all he's going to spend and go on. Every time he does that, he's going to lose about, what, 1950? That's the exact goal. 2,000 gold. But he's got gold. He's got buyback, BKB, rebuy. And if he wants to switch for a big item, like if he wants to go divine, like if the situation gets desperate enough, he could do that too. But the situation is not quite desperate, at least not for now. Alright, Tongfu's gonna try once again. Once again, Hawk already in position to scout things out. That's nice. Here we go. Let's see how Dragon Knight will be reacting. Just gonna pop everything and gonna go charge up the hill. Gonna be using the illusions, trying to destroy the tower. Not gonna destroy this. Alright, DK4 missed pop. So the same story here for W. Gonna just hold. Waste time. Fissure. Use nukes, Wrath of Nature, AI Splash. You can see that AA is really standing a little bit further back to make sure that AA Splash could do a lot of damage. No, FNTY gets Hex Blink Echo here coming from the Shaker, but it's not going to do enough damage. They do kill the Dragon Knight. Again, he buys back. He will have to breach travel. He has to be OTN right now this time, right? Moo in big trouble. Moo is going to survive, at least for now. Drums already used. WE holds again. WE... What? Huh? Puck blinks in feast. And now W is actually on the chase. They're going to port him right now. And Kaboo's going to get focused. Kaboo pops his Ghost Scepter right now. But huge free shotgun here. And we do see Chen teleporting out as well. Buyback here from the Crystal Maiden. Buyback here from the Beastmaster as well. Man, this game is just intense. Like, again, Tongfu should be winning this game. But they can't go up the high ground. W saving for a buyback when they lose team fights. And if they catch Dragon Knight out, they will just kill him. They are slowly losing ground overall, but they're looking for one of those team fights where WE or Tongfu also don't have buyback. And again, this is going to give them a little bit more time to go for pickoff. This is as Chinese of a game as it can get. WE still, I'm so impressed that WE is still holding on. Icy, by the way, has 8,000 gold. I think you, what do you go here? Divine? Do you go Divine? Oh, that was illusions. I was gonna say, holy crap. What was he doing there? Do you go Divine? Maybe you just do go Divine because, I mean, you have crits, right? You have a, I'm not sure. He sold the Necro book. Yep. He is. Oh. I saw the MKB. I was like, okay, divine time, baby. But apparently not. He still has gold to it but he actually is out of inventory. Like, unless he sells his treads, which I'm not too sure whether this is good or not. FNTY. They do see the Chen, right? FNTY, if he gets stunned here, blink here, Hex against FNTY, can they bring him down? Dragonite comes in, Dragonite finds FNTY, 3 hits, 4 hit, nice force that backward here, Chen's gonna get focused now, Chen, nice fissure block, that's what a TIE Hunter can't do for you. Hex against Hao, they have survived Hao's Fury, but Icy's gonna get picked off, he has buyback, he is gonna buy back right now, Dragonite, his BKB is down, Raph, what the hell is that, Scream Sonic Wave. Cheese was used. Was that it? Yep, Cheese was used here. And it looks like Gigi gets picked off. No! And it looks like Lude gets picked off as well. The decision for Radiant to fight outside of base started out very nice. But the Cheeses, the overwhelming, the Aegis, all those items was just too much. And now Hao has a couple of seconds. His Dragon form is running out. Do you just backdoor this right now? Teamfight still breaking out in the middle base. It is going to be a 2-prong push. And Tongfu had enough. There's a Cheese on the ground. Puck picks it up here. And finally, Tongfu has breached the base. And I think that was off the mistake of WE. Morphling going too far ahead. Is a team fight over just yet though? Hao gets focused. He is going to get sent back just fine. Crystal Maiden dropping an ultimate. Icy's going to get picked off. He doesn't have the buyback anymore. Mood does so much damage despite he has Hex and utility items. FNTY getting out DPS. The puck with the MKB. And now Hao is back. Look at his attack speed. He's going to get a kill. And that's going to be the game here. As you can see, Throne fully exposed. Tongfu takes game number 1 very, very decisively. Wow, what a well-played game for both sides. 77-minute victory, your final score, 27-23. I'll leave the endgame menu up as you guys can see how many creep kills. This is absolutely insane. But I hope you guys enjoyed this long commentary. And until next time, this is Luminous signing off to you guys.